Obsidian Task Management Tutorial. With Obsidian, you can stay organized, track your daily work, and actually complete your tasks, whether you're a student, freelancer, creator, or working professional. Obsidian works well for tasks because your tasks are going to live inside of your notes and not in a completely separate app. You can link your tasks to context, for example, any projects, ideas, or meetings, and everything stays in one place. You can control how simple or how detailed it gets, and instead of copying tasks between apps, your tasks live where your thinking happens. So first of all, in order to get started, you're going to go to your web browser and type in Obsidian. From there, you're going to choose the version suitable for your system and then install it. After installing and running, you're going to open up the app and then you will come somewhere like this. Now, if you are new to Obsidian, then you're going to have your welcome note here and you're not going to have any notes here, and your space is going to look very simple. If you're someone who is already using Obsidian, then you might have a few notes over here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go down here to your vaults and you're going to create a new vault by clicking on Manage Vaults. If you have just installed Obsidian, then you're already going to have a new vault and you could just rename it. So here we're going to click on Create, and then we're going to give our vault a nice name and decide a location for it. So I've put in the details and then click on Create. And here we go, our new vault has been created. And this is where we will be looking at how to manage your tasks. So Obsidian already does have all very nice features and very helpful functions to help us manage our tasks and projects. But in order to further cut down on our time and make it much more convenient for us, we are going to go ahead and install some plugins. These plugins are going to be beginner friendly and we are going to use them especially to manage our tasks. So these will be very helpful in task management. We're going to go down here where the vaults are, and then next to it we're going to click on settings here, go to community plugins. From there, turn on the community plugins, go to browse, and then here you're going to see all the available plugins. So the first one that we're going to go for is tasks. I'm going to type that in, and it is basically used for due dates and task tracking. So if we click here, what's going to happen is it is going to be applied across your vault, and it's going to support due dates and any recurring tasks that you have. It's going to refer to done dates, and it's going to have checklist items, and it's going to filter. So we're going to click on tasks here and just go to install. While it's installing, you can browse through the preview and see what it looks like and how it will be. This is the basic area where you can create your task or you can edit your task and you're going to put in the information. So this is the preview. That's what it's going to look like. We will go into detail on how to use that. So once it is installed, this is what it's going to look like. Then you want to click enable. And then you want to go and set up the hotkeys if you need. So you're going to go here and you're going to set up the shortcuts. So here you're just going to click on this sign here and you're going to enter in what you want the shortcut to be. I've entered that in. So that is done. And then here, when you go to community plugins, again, you're going to see under installed plugins, the task plugin. So here, if you click here again, you can go into the details and you can set up whatever you want, change the settings. In order to do that, you're going to go to options, and here you have detailed settings that you can go about and view those in detail, make any changes here that you want. Now, one thing related to tasks, which is very important, and I want you to go over this, is the global task filter. So this is very important to go over right at the start. So the differentiation over here that you can make is if you don't add the hashtag task tag into any note, then what you can do is you can consider all the checklist items to be considered to be managed by tasks. So tasks are going to manage all checklist items on all of your notes in your vault. Now, if you don't want all the checklists to be included in there, because maybe you could have a to-do checklist and then you could have a separate task list. So in order to differentiate between those, what you can do is you can add the hashtag task and you can enter that hashtag in here, and then it will consider only those notes with this hashtag to consider those checklists in tasks. So it's not going to include all checklists, and it will include only the ones with this tag. And you can go over it here too. It says if you set the global filter to hashtag task, the task plugin will only handle checklist items tagged with task. Other checklist items will remain normal checklist items and not appear in queries or get a done date set. So this is a clarification that you need to make right at the start. So now let's go back and let's go towards our next plugin that we want to install. So we're going to go up here and we're going to browse for more. So after that, you have daily notes, which you definitely need to have. Now I already have that installed and it is right over here. So it is functioning. But if you don't have that working on your Obsidian, then you're going to go in here and you are going to search for the daily notes and then you're going to install that. This is for daily task planning. So if you want to plan your tasks daily, then you're going to open up the daily note and you're going to note them down there. So if you don't have that, you want to come here and you want to install that and enable it as well and add in any hotkeys or shortcuts for it. And then the next plugin that we have after daily notes is a calendar. So it's right here and it is very popular. It's just a simple calendar widget. And what's going to happen here is you're going to get a really nice display of a tiny calendar on the right and you can visually navigate your days. So this is the preview of what it looks like and all the settings and details on it. So we're going to click install here as well. And once that is installed, click on enable and then just make sure that you have enabled all of your plugins and you don't need to change any kind of advanced settings. Now, because we are here trying to manage our tasks as efficiently as possible, our workflow that we want to create is going to be based on 3 very simple layers, and that is going to be able to capture tasks very quickly. And then we also want to be able to plan our tasks daily, so on a daily basis. And then we want to review our tasks as well, and we'll make that weekly. So capture your tasks quickly, plan tasks daily, and review tasks weekly. This is what we want. Tasks are not stored in one giant to-do list. Those tasks are going to be inside the daily notes and inside the project notes or any context or meetings or ideas or learning notes. So any of those kind of notes. So you're not going to have just a really big list of to-dos or tasks. You're going to have the tasks inside of the note. So that is what we will be concentrating on and focusing on. So over here, I have added in 3 notes. Now we have a meeting note, we have a project note, and then we have an untitled note. When you click here, you can add a new note and you can give it a title of your choice. So you can just erase this and give it any title of your choice. And then here it is created. So that is how I have created these notes. For example, let's say I'm going through my meeting notes and I'm going through these and then I am working on it and I'm taking all kinds of notes. And then I realize a task or 1 or 2 tasks. I'm going to go down at the bottom of the page and I'm going to note down my tasks over here. I'm not going to go to a separate note or a separate app or anywhere. I'm going to note down my tasks over here. And the best way to be doing that is actually not just noting these down, but I'm going to open up my task plugin. So I'm going to put in the shortcut for that. And this appears here and I can create or edit any task. So I'm going to write down my task, what the task is. So I've put in the task. I've decided it to be email client about updates. You need to make sure that your tasks are very specific. Don't make it anything generic because that just kills the whole purpose of creating our tasks. So you need to make something specific so that it can be completed. So you have an email client about updates. You can set the priority level. So maybe I can set that to high. That's very important. And then you can have, if it's something recurring, when it is due, you can enter in a time or a date for when it's due. You can also consider it to be a scheduled task. So you can enter in information for that or when it needs to start. And then if you go down, you have the status as well. So right now it is to do. So it has to be done for now. Once you have done that, and you can keep coming back to that task and then you can update it. So it's like it said, you can either create or edit the task. So you can keep coming back here and you can update it when it's done. You can update here. If you cancel it, you can update that. So then you can keep updating the task as well. So let's just apply this and create our task for now. And we've created our first task in the meeting note, that is email client about updates. And then this is the symbol for priority. Next, we could go down and we could create another task, and we could put in, let's just write down what the task is going to be. So for the second task, I've put in redesign contact details on website. That is something which needs to be redesigned, maybe for a client. And then I can give it priority, maybe highest priority. And then I could decide a due date for it and put in that date. What could that date be? Tomorrow. And then I could enter in all other details that I want to, and then enter, and there we go. I could go towards the next task if I wanted. Here we have our 2 tasks. So this is my meeting note, and then down here, so as I'm going through the meeting notes, I came up with some tasks, and then I went down here and I just quickly added in my tasks. So this is going to be really productive because I have the tasks right here and I can get to accomplishing them. When you're done with a task, you can tick it off or cross it off. So let's undo that. So these tasks are basically a kind of action items at the bottom of the note. So these are the action items, what actions need to be taken. Now I'm going to go to the project node, and down here I'm noting down things on my project, or maybe there are already some notes about the project. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in any tasks related to that project. So I'm going to put in my shortcut again. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to write in the description whatever my tasks are. These tasks could be anything. I'm just going to put this in for now. So this is the task. I didn't put in any details. So then we have more tasks if we need, and then we can just keep putting them in. So I have my project related tasks down here. Then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to open up my daily note. So the first plugin, actually the second plugin that we are using, the first one was the tasks, and now we're going to use the second plugin, which is the daily note. So that is right over here. When you click here, your daily note is going to open up. So this is the daily note. That is the format of the date, and the daily note is always going to have the date of the day in the title, and you should actually just let that stay. You can change this, of course. So what you're going to do with your daily notes, or how you're going to make daily notes very useful for your task management, is that if you have any quick to-dos, any quick personal to-dos that you need to manage, you're going to quickly just open up your daily task. Just go up here, open up your daily note, and then quickly launch your tasks here, and then you're going to quickly note down. So maybe something came up and I just remembered that I have to book an appointment with the dentist. So I'm just going to quickly put that in here, and I'm going to give it the priority, medium, and then the date that I want it for, I'm going to put that in. So select that date. I want it for maybe the 9th, and then I'm going to apply that. So I have a to-do list here. I could go down and put in another thing. Oh, I just remembered that I have something else to do, which is take out the trash, and I could give it highest priority because I keep forgetting to do that. So just put that in there. So this is my quick personal to-do list, and I could come back to my daily note here, and this is something I have to do today, and this is very quick. So this is how also you can manage your personal tasks as well, very quickly and very conveniently. And then simply just once you're done with those tasks, simply check them off, and there you go. Now, this is the to-do list in the daily note, and this is to-do stuff, which is, of course, needs to be completed on the same day. But if you have meeting notes and you have tasks on those, and if you have project notes and you have tasks on those, so you need to make sure to give them a to-do date. So don't forget to assign a to-do date, because that is what is going to connect it to context, and it's not just going to be a randomly floating task. It's going to have context. Now, I want to show you the third plugin that we installed. So if we go up here, click here, you can see this side panel opening up, and once you should be able to see the calendar symbol here. Okay, there it is. So this is the calendar symbol, and when you click here, you can preview the calendar. So this gives you a nice visual preview of your whole month, and if you have any tasks or notes for different dates. For the 7th, if we click here, we have this. Right, so this is our note for the 7th, and then you can have notes for all different days, which will be displayed here. And this is you can also schedule tasks for different dates, and then this little dot indicator is going to show up for that too. So this is a really nice calendar to have on the side here, and you can visually preview all your tasks in relation to dates. So you can also go a step further, or you can also use your daily note to plan your daily actions. So if you go here and click on open daily note, so when you go up here and you open your daily note, this is what you're going to get. And what you want to do or make a habit of is really when you come into Obsidian, you want to open your daily note and write inside it today's focus section. So write it in today's focus, and then you're going to go down and then you're going to note, you're going to link, either you can make a link or you can rewrite the most important tasks for the day. And you want to make sure that you limit yourself to 3 to 5 key tasks. So you want to have just about 3 to 5 tasks here, which you are going to concentrate on. And this is going to avoid any kind of overwhelm, and it's going to give you clarity on what actually matters for that day. And it's going to give you kind of an action plan. So your daily note becomes your action plan. Now, if we go to our notes where we have our tasks, now because the date over here is this, if this was overdue or if this date passed, then you would get indicated that this task is overdue. You would automatically see any overdue tasks, and you can just simply go ahead and review them and adjust them. You will also be able to spot any tasks that need rescheduling, and you can move tasks forward without actually deleting them. So instead of feeling guilty about overdue tasks, you can just simply overview them and adjust them. And that is actually something you need to consider about all kinds of tasks in life. Just simply view them, review them, and adjust them accordingly instead of just sitting down and feeling guilty about them or feeling demotivated. Try to make sure that your tasks are not too complex. In order to keep your tasks organized, use very clear task wording. So have clear tasks and keep the tasks small and actionable. Avoid any kind of vague tasks like work on project. Instead, have a detailed task, for example, outline video script. Now that would be a good task, or reply to client email, or email client about updates, or redesign contact details on a website. So these are detailed tasks, and try not to make them very vague. Clear tasks are going to reduce your mental load, and you need to make sure you do that. And then what you want to do when you have your tasks and everything in place, once a week, you want to go back and review your tasks. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up your calendar over here. So it was like this, click here, open up your calendar if it is not in view already. And then what you want to do is review the last 7 days. So go over the last 7 days, go over that week, and see what tasks you have completed. So check the completed tasks and then move any of the unfinished tasks to the upcoming week. So transfer those tasks which have not completed to the next week and open up your tasks and then change the dates on those or make changes to that. Then delete the tasks that no longer matter. For example, tasks that do not need any further managing, then delete those. This review is going to keep your task system clean and trustworthy.